What's going on, ladies? What's going on? Hello, lammies. Hello, lambs. What a mess. Trying to get on top of this here. So some of these onions are not ready just yet, but I'm going to take them up hopefully in the next couple of days, because I have noticed some of the other ones that I've took up are starting to rot of this white variety. So I want to keep a close eye on that. I have thinned out these chicory or whatever it was. The chickens seem to like it, so that's a bonus. And all of the onions that were in between the carrots, I'm hoping have been found now. So these carrots are definitely ready for thinning. So that's the job I wanted to get done before I started there. So I'm starting to harvest these collies that were hiding. Some of them are no good, some of them are fine. Also found some volunteer potatoes. The broccoli plants, they look really untidy, but they're still producing, so that's great. And I'm just going to try and work my way through whatever else is going on in this bed, which is just feels a little bit too much at the minute. It's kind of all sorts, and I need to get it tidied up, otherwise it's going to start feeling like I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I don't even know if these are, that must be cabbage, because it doesn't look anything like cauliflower leaves. And there's another potato, look, that's flowering. So if there's flowers, it means there's tubers, but I don't really want them in here. There's another cauliflower that I can see there, looks a bit yellow. So I think probably what I'll have to do is, I don't know, make cauliflower soup or rice or something with them, rather than trying to have it as a side dish for the nice white presentation. That's not going to happen. Not with these. I wasn't expecting them, as I say. I didn't know what they were. And then all of a sudden they just arrived. So there's some very yellowing leaves in here that need taking care of. But these are looking great. Every one of those flowers turns into a bean, so I think this guy might need a bit of support to stand up. Right, so today, this is one of the tasks. This Swiss chard's looking good though, look. Pleased with that, now that we can see it. And we've also, if I just turn the camera around, these potatoes here, the alouettes, they are looking about ready to harvest, so we'll get into those at some point as well. It's not much tidier, is it? I've made a decision though. I'm taking everything out of this bed apart from there's one sprout plant and 2 red cabbage plants. Now I'm going to leave those in, taking everything else out and getting started for the autumn planting with it. There's no point in trying to leave things and rescue them if it's just not to be rescued. Oh, sorry, the broccolis, because they're still side shooting very well. So apart from that, I'm going to be getting this planted ready for autumn. I haven't yet decided what I'm going to be putting in, because this was a bit of a spur of the moment thing. That's kind of my gardening style sometimes. So all of these green leaves are going to be going to the chickens and to the compost. And we've got some tiny cauliflowers, we've got some massive ones. And look, how cute is this? Probably should have been left. But needs to come out. So this is still perfectly edible and no slug damage because it's so small. However, the slugs were still after them, so just wasn't meant to be. But this will do me for one of my meals, and as long as we've got 4, we'll have 1 piece each with the broccoli and the carrots and everything. You know, there's Sunday dinner, so we're doing well. I'm not complaining. I've just locked the shed up because it's you can't really see on this, but it's starting to rain quite heavy, and I've got a few things that I need to get under cover. The nasturtium flowers, Grace has picked a load for me, and they need to be dry. Can't be wet at all before they start drying. And I've got my little basket of cauliflowers, and there's like the odd random thing that we found in there as well. So I'm going to get these under cover, but I've managed to get this bed cleared apart from the odd plants that I said. So that is what I really wanted to achieve today, or at least this afternoon. If it stops raining, I'm going to come back out, but in the meantime I've got loads to be getting on with in the kitchen anyway. These are some fireweed flowers that we harvested, or roseberry willow herb, and some nasturtiums, nasturtium leaves. There's a few calendula at the end there as well. So this is my makeshift drying. It's an old quill pen. It's clean on this side. And it's just a makeshift drying screen. So I want like a shower screen, like a soft, where you can just brush them across to gather them up at the end, because when you brush these they get stuck in the holes. But I need something that's porous so that the air can go through from the bottom. But anyway, we don't have anything at the moment. These were just picked, so we're just leaving them like this to let the bugs escape. So before we start drying them or submerging them in any hot water or anything, give those poor little bugs a chance. But these will be left to dry for the winter, and then they shall be finished off inside, and they'll go into jars and everything to make some lovely herbal tea. But at the moment my dehydrator's full. I just don't have the space. I thought it would do just as well in here, and air drying probably takes a bit longer. But along with the rest of the items that are starting to build up, we need to get this room finished, but it's already taken good shape. We're back in the cold room, or the cold room to be, and I've got somebody here who you don't see very often these days because he's always at work. So while we've got the chance, Steve's going to just give you a really quick rundown of where we're up to with what's going on in this room.
Right, I've just been to pick up some plasterboards for the ceiling, so hopefully I'll get that done tonight. So that's just going to be, the ceiling's just going to be plain 8mm plasterboard. Hopefully get a couple of downlights in there, a couple in there, some vents in, because all this side's open so it gets good ventilation. So if we get some vents in the ceiling, and then when I put the wall in, I'm going to put some vents across the bottom of the wall, and that'll should create good ventilation so nothing gets damp and everything. So that's what hopefully I'll get done tonight.
It's another day, and I thought it was going to be cool out here today because it's quite cool in the house. My goodness me, it is so hot. We've had a really heavy rainstorm a couple of minutes ago, and I've just got some time to come out. I've got some really cute things to show you, but first of all, I don't know if the camera will capture this, but you should see the steam coming off the barn roof. One sec. Can you see that? What a strange day. Look, there's a Mr. Naughty Turkey. And there's Mama Hen and some chicks. There's 5. Did we miss it? Oh no, there it is, the other one. So that's one thing. And then we also had another hen turn up the other day. So she went missing for a little while, and then we found her sat on some eggs, and it was too late to take the eggs away from her because obviously she'd already started incubating them. And she rocked up the other day, a couple of days ago, with 13 chicks. So tell you what, let's go and have a quick look at her before we get back into the garden. Some of them are underneath this box we've got here. Oh, hello. How cute are they? Right, back to the garden. This is my last chance to get carrots in for my winter pantry, or for storing over winter. So it's now coming up to the middle of August. So Stephen has made me this new carrot bed, which I asked Grace to fill for me, and bless her, she's filled it so full, but let's say it's not totally full. I'll use the rotted horse manure to fill it, and then I'll put maybe a couple of inches of compost on the top. So I'll just give you a quick preview of what that is before I get the rest of it filled up. It's just literally made out of old bits of wood that we had lying around from when we moved in, and I'll get out of the shot. Grace has filled it up and it's actually sunk, because that's what horse muck does. This is old aged manure though, so I'm going to go fill the rest of this up and get some carrots sown today. Right, Grace has brought up some more buckets with Jack, and I've put some of our just multi-purpose compost on. So this is ready for the carrots now, so I'm going to go and grab the seeds out of the shed and I'll show you what we're getting in. This is the variety I've gone for, so carrot touchon. It's supposed to be an early variety, as in it doesn't take too long to produce is what I mean by early. I did have some carrot senior variety, but I can't find them, so maybe I've already planted them. So I'm going to get these in now. I'm just going to broadcast them. I'm not going to do them in lines or anything like that. So yeah, we have got quite a lot in here, because there's 5 grams. So let's get sowing. Now it's really important that carrots stay moist after they've been sowed, so you can put something over the top of them until they germinate if you want. I might just put a bit of old plastic or something over them just for a couple of days, because as soon as they lose that moisture they won't germinate very well, if at all, and that's not what we're after at any time of the year, but especially at this time of the year. So I'll get that done and then keep an eye on these, and every couple of days as soon as they've germinated I'll take the plastic off, or whatever I decide, whatever I find lying around, and I'll replace it with some netting, so enviromesh, so that we don't get anything else that's just going to pull out the little seedlings and destroy them. So we need to look after all our good hard work. The carrots are all done, so I'm just going to give them a really quick water. We did have that mad downpour, but obviously what's on top hasn't been watered. So I'm just in the greenhouse to get the watering can, and there are so many more tomatoes ready to harvest. They're doing fantastic, so I need to get those picked later on today. And we've also got all of these beans that are ready to go in, as well as some of the winter brassicas, things like that. But one thing I did want to share with you before we end this week's vlog, we're getting ready for Christmas. We've got our Christmas potatoes, seed potatoes, ready to go in, so I'll just be planting these exactly the same. The variety is Blue Danube. My goodness, it's really warm here, I'm going to have to go outside. So we will be planting those exactly the same as we will be, or as we do any other seed potatoes. So I'll be getting those in, keeping them outside. They're not going to be going in the greenhouse, but they'll be going in containers. And when we get to the weather, when it's frosty and things like that, I'll be putting them in overnight into the greenhouse just to keep the frosts off. But for now, the speed that these guys will grow at this time of year, being outside, is just fine. They could go in the ground, but you can't protect them from the frost then, and it depends how quickly you're going to get a harvest. I've known people put them in August and get harvest in October, so it's not really Christmas potatoes. So I might stagger them and put some in now, some in towards the end of August, but we'll see. Anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you. So seed potatoes are going in, getting ready for Christmas, my favourite time of year. Well, as well as multiple other times of the year, but you know what I mean, it's fab. So yeah, looking forward to that. So really starting to think about the winter pantry and the things that we're going to be storing over winter now. What we've been picking so far really has been for fresh eating. So I'm going to get some more beetroots in. We've got the carrots in. Turnips are the other thing, so maybe some more Swedes. Probably a bit late for them, but we'll give it a go anyway. But there's still lots that we can be getting on with. And these tomatoes are just amazing. Got a bit of a wonky bean trellis. Fell over with that rain that we've just had, but everything else is looking really healthy in this bed. So we've got, these are the parsnips that are coming up. We've got some carrots that are coming up, not many because not all of them germinated. These are the Siberian onions, a few leeks, purple kaleets at the back, some Swiss chard. Oh, some potatoes that are exposed, so we're going to need to dig these up today. And then a few outdoor tomatoes that don't look too great, but have produced, so no complaints. And then these here are the typical Jerusalem artichokes taken over, which aren't even supposed to be here. So this bed, overall, I'm really pleased with the productivity of this bed this year. It's done absolutely fabulous. Those sunflowers are just looking great. Now these beans are coming along here really nicely, so I'm going to harvest all of these now and tell the plants to keep on producing. There's more under here, so these are nice. What variety are these again? Polka Dwarf, and these were sown on the 10th of May, so these are doing quite well. Hiding in there, the Borlottis, dwarf Borlottis. Love these guys. I'm going to leave those to dry though for winter. Now these peas here, I'm going to get the kids to take these out for me. They're producing, they look fab. But I think I said on one of my last vlogs, the pea moth got them this year, so I'm not even going to fish through them. They're just going to come out and free up some more space. The rain has totally done a number on these as well. So we're going to literally take all of these broad beans plants out like I did before. This is the last harvest of broad beans, and take all of the bean pods off them. I mean, they're looking super healthy and fabulous, so we will get a good harvest off them, and that will not only clear the pea bed, or the pea part of the bed. One sec! It'll also clear the broad beans as well. So we'll have a nice gap here for our next harvests. Grace has taken out the peas. She's just getting those ready on the cart for the compost. And Jack is taking out the full broad bean plants, which he's just laying down here for now, and then they're going to take the broad beans off the plants. This is going to be a lovely big space. First of all, we'll be able to see how the squash are doing, and secondly, there'll be space for the borlottis to carry on growing, and also to get some winter plants in here, which I'm really excited about. And these chilies have totally trashed, or chili peppers have totally trashed my cold frame now. So the wind did it as well, to be fair, but they're just wanting to be out, so I'm leaving them do that. It's giving them a little bit of protection, obviously being having the sides on and everything. But I wanted to show you these. These are Tabasco peppers. Aren't they amazing? They grow upright. Isn't that fab? Wow, that might be a bit too big. So yeah, those I'll be making hot sauce with those guys. And there's lots of others coming along as well, looking really well. I'm pleased with those. I've moved, do you remember the tomatillo plant that was the tomato tree plant that was here, not the tomatillo? I've moved that into the greenhouse. It's in that red bucket there, so that should thrive a little bit better. I did have a read up on it, and apparently you don't get the fruits until late autumn when everything else is finished, so that makes sense there. We've got some of these outdoor tomatoes. Well, they're not outdoor tomatoes, I'm growing them outside because they weren't doing too well inside. The tomatillos, now that they're free of the polytunnel, are coming on really well. And the polytunnel is still a jungle. I need to get in and harvest some of the tomatoes in there as well. But yeah, it's not too bad. I'm going to grab some herbs while I'm outside. These onions are the Kelsey variety that aren't yet ready for harvest. Or some of them though, of a different variety, I can't remember what they were, are starting to rot. So they are coming out. And then we're making space for the beans that I've just showed you. They'll go in here to join some of the other beans that have already been put in amongst the leeks. And that's the celery. So let me show you up to the shed what the kids have been doing. Where did they put the basket? So this is what we've got off the broad bean plants that the kids have done. I also found my first apple. It's a windfall, but that would be a welcome addition to the kitchen. And there's the yellow beans that I picked just underneath there as well. So these guys are going to be part of what I'll be doing tonight to preserve these. So these are the last of the broad beans. All I've been doing with the broad beans is blanching them and freezing them in the vac packs. I can't remember if I showed you that or not. But it works out really well, just in sizes that I can add to stews and to, you know, to things like that. Some of these I might actually just do a puree with or something, just to get them used, because the kids really aren't keen on them. I love them, and I'm the cook. But anyway, so I think I will blanch some, and I'll probably do just, yeah, something that we can have as a bit of a side, or maybe I'll do like smashed beans or something like that. But that's the last of those guys. Peas have been a disaster this year. As I say, the pea moth got them, so I'm not too worried about that. I'm not sowing anymore either. You could get some pea tops or some dwarf varieties, but I'm okay. I'm over those a little bit this year. Next big harvest, I've got 2 weeks coming up. I'm going to be doing some extended gardening videos during those 2 weeks, and what we'll be doing then is harvesting our carrots. And at the very end of August, we'll be looking at the potatoes as well. We chop those down and let them cure under the ground for a couple of weeks before we harvest them. Just all depends what the weather's got going on, because it's just bonkers still at the minute. But yeah, I think we'll be harvesting the carrots for storage and preserving. See how we get on for that. I've got one more exciting thing to show you before I sign off. Those Christmas potatoes are in, so they are now just going to sit there in, they're about 4 to 6 inches of soil, and I'll keep topping them up as they start coming through. So I'll show you that process, and hopefully they'll just grow for us and be Christmas potatoes. Also, being in containers will protect them hopefully from the mice or the rats or whatever it is that got the ones down the bottom. So I'm really looking forward to see how those guys do. For now, let me show you, sign off with this little surprise here that I've just found that I didn't even see, and how I could miss it, I don't know. Look at this little cutie. So this is a crown prince, I think. In fact, I'm sure it is. And when you look, there's another couple coming in the distance. So we'll be popping him on a bit of slate or something, so that he doesn't get all the stones in him. Really pleased with that, was unexpected. I'm going to get some of the potatoes that I showed you from this bed here. Well, anything that's been above the surface and is green, I'll just go straight onto the compost. I'm not bothered if they volunteer in the compost. It's always good to have volunteer potatoes. They seem to do better than the ones that you look after. But for now, that's going to be me for this week. I feel like it's been a bit of a shorter video. The weather's been so crazy, I haven't been out as much. That shows in the weeds actually. So we've got, I've got a massive job on next week, which I'll show you. Not very exciting, but one of those that needs to be done. But I think this is me for this week. So thank you guys for joining me. I'll catch up with you soon. I've got so much to be harvesting. Thinned out, would you believe? There's still so much more to do. We've got some of the other videos that we were talking about coming up as well. I'm just being extra busy at the moment with getting ready to finish work this Friday. So yeah, I'm trying to get everything done. Kids are off school, so I'm looking after them and working, running this place, and Stephen's been working 6 days a week. So we're just trying to keep our head above water at the moment. So bear with me and look out for all of the extra videos coming up whilst we're on holiday, though I can't wait to do that. There's really exciting things that we've got planned. But thanks for sticking with me. I'll talk to you again soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe.